So thank you all for coming to the extra practice for the unit circle review. I'm Evan, and I'm just here to help you guys understand it a little bit better. So we're going to start here by talking about the overall shortcuts that can be used to actually solve the unit circle. Let's make that a little bit bigger. I didn't see how big it was going to be on the screen until I actually drew out the circle. So let's do that a little bigger. That's a nice big old circle. Okay. And excuse me for the glare on the screen. That's the light. So I don't know if I can. I can't really dim the lights in this room. So anyway, we're going to talk about the quadrants of the unit circle and kind of how it's easier to come up with the actual values for sine and cosine while you're going around the circle. So while you're in the first quadrant, the actual multiplicative value that you're going to have towards each of the values is 0. And excuse me too, because the actual camera is flipped. This is quadrant 1. Let's just do this. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. The video is backwards. I don't know if I'll be able to flip that in post-production, but I'm going to try. So in the first quadrant, you have 0 for the numerator versus the denominator of all your fractions. You're going to have 1 in quadrant 2. You're going to have plus 1 in quadrant 3 and times 2 minus 1 in quadrant 4. And what I mean by that is all of the points on the unit circle, how you can easily choose what each point is going to be according to where you are in the unit circle. So the best way to remember this is 0 over here, pi is over here, nice and simple. If you go halfway from 0 to pi, you're going to hit pi over 2, nice and easy. If you add a pi to that, you get 3 pi over 2. So that's a good 4 points on the unit circle that we have right here. So from pi over 2, you can count on each of these. You're going to have a denominator of 3, 4, and then we don't use 5, we jump to 6. Don't ask me why, that's math for you. So with our multiplier at the top, we can see that there is no additive that we're going to add in quadrant 1. So from here, we're just going to have pi over 3, pi over 4, and pi over 6. Nice and easy. Over here, we're also going to still have our denominators being our same 3, 4, that's not a 4. That's not a 4, this is a 4. 3, 4, and 6. But now we're going to look at our multiplier 1 and basically be able to decide what our numerator is now going to be with our new quadrant. So we're going to add 1 to the denominator. You're going to end up getting 4 pi, 5 pi, and 7 pi. Well, actually, I just mixed this up. Never mind. Hold on. It's minus 1 at this quadrant. Excuse my French. I'm going a little quick here. So it's going to be 2 pi over 3, 3 pi over 4, and 5 pi over 6. So if y'all can edit your notes accordingly, this is how it actually is supposed to be 0, negative 1, plus 1 times 2 minus 1. Just so we don't get confused. So you always want to work from your y-axis here when you're counting out these 3s, 4s, and 6s going left and right. So at the bottom, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to have 3, 4, and 6 going this way, and 3, 4, and 6 going this way for your denominators. 3, 4, and 6. Let's go over here with a 3 and a 4, followed by a 6. It's also not a 6. There we go. Nice and simple. So here, plus 1, you're going to look at your denominator, which each one of these, and add 1 to it. So you're going to have 7 pi over 6. You're going to have 5 pi over 4, and 4 pi over 3 in quadrant 3. Nice and simple. Here, so this one is probably the hardest one to actually wrap your head around. It's times 2 minus 1, so you're going to times, all of this is to the denominator of each fraction. So you're going to multiply 3 times 2, 6, minus 1, 5. 5 pi over 3. Times 2 minus 1, you got 8, minus 1, 7, pi. Times 2, 6 is 12, minus 1 is 11. So 11 pi over 6, and that is your completed unit circle for at least the radian values of where you're looking at each of these. This might be self-explanatory for a lot of people, but just to reiterate kind of where you're trying to see where sine and cosine is positive, since sine is the y term and cosine is the x term, in quadrant 1 you're going to have sine and cosine both being positive. In the first quadrant, or the second quadrant, now we're dealing with x being negative and y being positive. So you're going to have, a negative here, but still keep your positive here. Here they're both negatives. They're both, no matter what you're solving for, sine or cosine here, they're both negative. And then here, x is positive, and let me be a little more consistent here. So x is positive and y is negative. So that's a little easier way to kind of break down the unit circle whenever you're studying for your homework and your tests, and trying to make sure you don't mix up some of these signs. And thank you for sticking here for the extra lesson. If you guys need any more help, you can email me directly. In the link, I'm going to post my personal and school email in case you guys don't reach me at one of them. Just try the other one. I check them probably 30 times a day, so it's pretty easy for you guys to get a hold of me if you need some more extra help with this kind of stuff. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks.